Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm bringing you part two of the military wife that found out her husband was cheating on her for the period that they were married. So this is actually the part two. I've done part one. You can check the link in description for part one. If I'll try and remember to put it. So let's check it out.
This is part two on how I found out that my ex-husband was cheating on me for 9 months with his coworker. If you want to see part one, go ahead and click on the comment right here. So now we know that my ex-husband was in the military. He was cheating on me with his coworker who was also a military service member. And we know that I found out because his sergeant told me. So that day I got home and I spent the entire night crying. I felt so
I can imagine.
and just outright broken. I think broken is an understatement. That night, my ex-husband was texting me and calling me and saying, I need to explain myself. Please give me a chance to explain myself. None of that is true. Everything that you were told was a lie. And then he started saying things like, so you're gonna believe a stranger over me, your husband? He started gaslighting, saying like, wow, you really don't trust me. You really don't believe me. I see how you really feel. He was spiraling out of control, texting me, calling me. I just put my phone on do not disturb and just ignored him for the rest of the night. Because in my heart, in my gut, I knew that what he told me was true and that my ex-husband was lying to me. So the next day, my ex-husband comes home and I tell him that I'm gonna file for divorce. I tell him that I'm done because this is something that I just can't forgive or move past. And in that moment, this man starts crying, sobbing. He gets on his knees. He's holding on to my leg and telling me, please, no, don't leave me. I can't live without you. You're the love of my life. Asking me for forgiveness and pleading. And I'm also crying. I tell him like, no, I can't forgive this. Like, this is literally insane. You done slept with her. You done did all these things with her behind my back and then came home to me. You literally could have given me an STD. He's still begging and crying, asking for a second chance. And a part of me wanted to reach out to the girl to question her and confront her, but I didn't want to give her the satisfaction to let her know that I was hurt, that I was suffering, because she knew about me. She knew that we were together. At this point, I'm starting to feel a little conflicted. I don't know what to do or what my next steps should be. So I talked to my mom and I'm like, Mom, like all of this happened.
So the woman knew about her. So that's another thing that we women need to talk about. Why is it that a woman will knowingly, comfortably go into a relationship with a married man? Because in this case, she knew the man was married. And there's also a possibility that the woman was the one that chased or they went after the man. Of course, well, of course, he's not a baby. But I'm just saying there are women that derive joy from knowing that they are causing another woman pain. I've heard women that say that they prefer being in a relationship with a married man because for them it's easier than dating a fellow single man. I've seen women say that. So I really don't understand the mindset behind that. And then again, another thing I want to also address is the man crying and begging. Like, I want to I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Why is he crying? Why is he begging? Like when he was doing it, wasn't he thinking about the consequences of his actions? And another thing that people that actively cheat on their spouse and come back to have intercourse with the spouse unprotected, what level of wickedness, like how wicked can you be? Nah.
And I feel like contacting the girl and going up the chain of command and doing all of this. My mom literally tells me in Spanish, don't you ever lower yourself to confront another woman. You're the wife. She's the mistress. Nunca te rebajes a confrontar a otra mujer. Porque la culpa no es de ella, es de tu marido. El que te debe lealtad es tu marido. My mom pretty much said, like, the person who owes you loyalty is your husband, not the other woman. There's nothing to confront over there. She's not the one that was married to you. Is your husband. So the full responsibility falls on him. Mom was pretty much like, she's one of those easy ones. Let her be. Her karma will come later. Don't worry about it.
Your mama is a queen. Like, hats up to her. I will never understand why women go to fight the other woman. Like, what do you want to achieve? The person that owes you loyalty is the man. Why don't you hold the man responsible? And I've also seen situations a lot. I see it happen in my country a lot, where a woman that knows her husband is cheating on her will go and fight the other one. Meanwhile, when she comes back home, she will not say anything to the husband. But that's the pattern in my country. It's even now they're beginning to act otherwise. Just like tiny percentage of them, but oftentimes they are going to fight the other woman. I saw recently on social media a wife that went to collect the car her husband bought for his mistress and beat up the mistress, and she didn't say anything to the husband. Please make that make sense. You think the man would stop cheating? He would double, and he's not even hiding it. Ah,
her. Right now, you have a decision to make. Are you gonna choose to forgive him or are you gonna get divorced? And I told my mom, I'm gonna get a divorce because I am not gonna forgive this. So that same week, I started packing my things. I'm coming up with a plan on how to move out and start the divorce process. And my ex-husband is still begging, still asking for forgiveness, still asking for a second chance. At this point, I don't know if I wanna move back to my hometown or stay here, keep my job, stay in college, and just find like an apartment in the area. Anyways, that entire process took about a month and we were living like roommates. I was still in love with him, but I felt repulsed by him. Like I was disgusted. Every time I would look at him, I would just think about him and her together. It was just such a weird, I don't know how to explain it. Like I loved him so much and I was so hurt, but every time I would look at him, my heart would just break all over again because all I could see was him and her. Fast forward a couple weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. We were expecting our first son. And then I felt like my world was turned upside down all
oh,
over again. Because the last thing that I wanted at this
ah.
time was to be pregnant by the man I was getting ready to leave. So the same day I found out that I was expecting, I tell him, he's very happy. Because before he got deployed overseas, him and I were
He's tough.
planning on trying to conceive after the deployment. We talked about having kids and having a family and buying a house because we were renting at the time. We had made all these plans about like what we're gonna do after I graduate college and all these dreams and goals. And then I made the very stupid decision to stay with him for the sake of our child because I wanted nothing more than for my child to grow up in a two-parent household. I didn't have that growing up. My ex-husband didn't have that growing up. And it's something that like we just always wanted. And then at the time, my ex-husband was saying that he would do anything. He would do anything to make me happy, to make our marriage strong again. He introduced the idea of couples therapy. But I agreed. I agreed to couples therapy. We started therapy, which was honestly really, really good. I learned a lot. And a lot of my own personal traumas were able to come out to the surface. And I was able to heal from a lot of things that happened to me in my childhood. But that's neither here nor there. As the pregnancy was progressing, we were still in couples therapy. I still didn't trust him. I still didn't believe a lot of the things he was telling me. Like when he told me, oh, I love you. I was still struggling with other things in the marriage too, because like every time I would look at him, I was still getting like flashbacks of like him and her. There was a lot of trauma on my end that I was like digesting. And then he started kind of getting tired of it. He would say things like, why are you still bringing this up? That was like 5 months ago. I was like, excuse me? Or whenever I would ask questions about that relationship he had, he would be like, I thought we were leaving the past in the past. Why are you still trying to bring this up? Why are you still trying to bring up a situation that already happened? And I felt like he was just trying to like get me to like move on really, really fast. Even though things were starting to kind of get a little better, like we weren't arguing all the time. I was trying not to bring up the situation or ask too many questions because I genuinely wanted things to be healthy. I really, really wanted to get past it, but I couldn't. Because months later, I was still heartbroken. Not only that, like that cheating, like at that level, messes you up, like mentally, emotionally. As a woman, you start looking at yourself differently. Your self-esteem was here, it is now here. You start questioning yourself. You start thinking like, why wasn't I good enough? What was I missing? And you also start questioning the things that he says to you, like when he calls you beautiful, and he tells you he loves you. You start questioning like, does he really mean that or is he lying? Then you start questioning everything else. He stays at work late. Is he cheating again? Could he be cheating again? Could he just be hiding it better? It's so damaging. I felt like I was pregnant and at the lowest point of my life. I was literally struggling with depression. I was very sad. It wasn't a happy pregnancy. Oh my God, it's been like 11 years since this. My son is 11 years old today. Why am I still crying about this? I literally just... By the way, I'm not hurt. I don't have any lingering feelings about what happened. My ex-husband and I actually get along. We co-parent really great. I'm remarried. I'm happily remarried. I love my husband. He's the best. After my kids, my husband My current husband is one of the best things that happened to me. I'm crying right now because I remember so many things that happened during that and after that. I just feel how like I didn't deserve any of it. I suffered so much. I was such a depressed, broken version of myself. I was such a sad mom, a broken mom. I didn't deserve any of it. Let me fast forward a little bit so you know what's coming. When I was 8 months pregnant, he cheated on me again, this time with 2 other females. I'm running out of time. Let me know if you want part 3. By the way, I am crying because I'm remembering that, like I said, I didn't deserve to be treated the way that I was. And I'm a little disappointed in myself because why did I allow someone to treat me that way? Why did I think so low of myself? Why did I not love myself enough to realize that I deserve better? That's why I'm crying. I also realized that I was way younger and way dumber. It's life, you know, sometimes shitty things happen to good people and it is what it is. Again, let me know if you guys want part 3 to find out how he cheated on me again. And then after
I told you guys
divorce,
that you remember what I said about this lady, that she gives off this vibe like she's a good person, and I genuinely believe she's a good person. And I do not blame her for crying. You may, like when you come to think of what something that happened to you in the past, and you're not be like, why did I even allow myself to get to this level? You know, so I understand where she's coming from. Like my heart really goes out to her to think that she suffered that while pregnant. I'm just imagining what it must have been for her, you know, knowing the fact that she was carrying a child, her first child, with the man that she was supposedly to do life with forever, only to be disappointed, you know, for the man to stab her behind the back in the worst possible way. Ah, so like I'm just imagining what it must have been for her actually. Like, but how do you do that to someone you claim you love? And I also want to ask that, you know, I hear a lot of women that say, oh, I'm staying in this toxic relationship, this toxic marriage because of my child. I don't want my children to grow up in, you know, one parent household. Does it really favor the children because they are seeing how toxic the environment is? In fact, they feel it, the energy, everything is wrong. They know that something is not right. They are not dumb. Children are wiser than we think they are. They are so much wiser than the credit we give them. I don't even know why we don't want to accept that. Do you think it's even healthy staying in a relationship that doesn't serve you just because you want your children to have this perfect image of a perfect family? Does it really work for the children? Has it ever worked for the children? Like I'm genuinely curious. Have you ever seen a family that it worked out for, even though the parents are not in good terms, but the children are happy because oh my mom and my dad are together? Has it ever worked? Let me know in the comment section. And yeah, I'll be bringing the part 3 and the part 4, 4, 5. I think it's up to part 7 or so. I'm bringing everything for you guys. So before you click off, let me show you my outfit of the day. So I'm wearing what I call Aduni Ashoke jacket. So Ashoke is a Yoruba term in my country, Nigeria. So it's hand woven. So this is hand woven. Everything about this fabric is hand woven. It takes days to make. Hand woven. Hand woven. So this, I'm sure you guys have seen a clip I'm showing. It is available on my website. I have several other outfits on my website as well. Just, you know, encourage this growing business of mine. Everything is done in my country, Nigeria. So I ship to the US, I ship to UK, I ship to Germany, I ship to Canada. Anywhere that my country people can get to, just know that I can ship to you. Yes. So please follow the link in the description if you want to buy. I have several other outfits there. They're hand woven. Not all of them are not hand woven, but they're handmade. There are some, you know, adire batik, also handmade. Lovely, lovely. Just trust me, you're gonna love everything you get. This was done with so much care, with so much love. My mom was telling me that this kind of outfit you wear and, you know, hand over to your next of kin. That's how lasting this is because it's hand woven with so much 100% cotton. You will love it. This for the women, the size is different, even the length. Then for the men, it's different. It's actually unisex. Yes, a guy can wear it and a woman can wear it. That's my favorite thing about it. I love this dress so much, and I can't stop talking about it. But of course, there are other stuff you also see on my channel that you get to love. Follow the link in the description. And production for this, the production takes 4 weeks, but other items it takes 14 days. So yeah, it depends on the outfit you're going for. But just know that you are going to be getting what you love. Thank you for appreciating this work of mine. See you.